to you. Good morning, good morning. Won't you share with a friend or two? Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning to you and many more. Good morning, and welcome to Daring Dialogues Black Table Talk Edition. I'm going to jump right in because I've got to do a short, very short show today. So I want to talk a little bit about um, some of the things that I have seen over the past 24, 36 hours. I found it interesting that yesterday on MLK's birthday, that I was talking with and conversing with more non-black people on yesterday on my page than I had seen ever before. And the reason why I am talking about this is because at the same time, an inauguration was happening that was the antithesis of what MLK stood for and believed in. And so I want to encourage people who are not black, rather than finding yourself um, taking shelter in black spaces, in black pages, taking up space in black comment sections. I want to encourage you to be about the work that Dr. King believed in. I want to encourage you to form your organizations, to join organizations that are fighting against racism, misogyny, um, exclusion. Um, yeah, find your way to the work. Find your way to the work. I think that's the best way to put it. Find your way to the work because you can talk all day online, but find your way to the work. And we know that work needs to be done, or we wouldn't be in the predicament that we're in right now, right? So if everybody's claiming to be doing the work of making this world more just, more equal, all of those good things, if we were doing the work, if you were doing the work in your community, we would not find ourselves in the predicament that we find ourselves in right now. So I just want to make people aware that right now I have kind of like zero tolerance for people who are in my comment sections that should be somewhere doing the work. Where why are you in my comment section right now? There's work that needs to be done. And I'm not talking about black community. Black people are doing their work. Hmm. We sure are. We've been doing our work since 1619. We've been doing the work. The question is, what are you going to do with your turn to do the work, white folks? I was having a conversation, as I said yesterday, down in my comment section, and somebody said they don't have culture, that white people don't have culture. I'm like, you absolutely do have culture. That's why we're in the predicament that we're in. You do have culture. The question is, are you going to reform the culture that you have? There's a work of reform that has to happen in your culture. And that work of reform doesn't happen being in my comment section. So I want you to lean in on your ancestors' courage. You know, the ancestors that fought against slavery, them. I want you to lean into that. Lean into that. And think about what your ancestors were doing to thwart evil in this country. You know, people like John Brown. Think about the lengths that they were going to thwart evil in this country. That is the work. And so I want to encourage you to get to the work. Get to the work, get to the work, get to the work. And speaking of culture keeping, my dearly beloved Black folks, culture keeping, we saw a beautiful display of symbolic culture. I didn't watch the inauguration. I read some of the news reports and feedback and all of that. But we saw a beautiful display of resistance that came through Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown. Now, Ketanji and I actually share the same high school alma mater, her, Jeff Bezos, and myself. And I saw her draped in cowrie shells for the inauguration. And I looked at that and I said, she gets it. She gets it. And there were people that were going on and they were, really touched by what they saw. But then there were some of us that felt the need to come into the open space, into the public, and begin to try to teach the public what those shells meant, what they were representative of. And I said to myself, sometimes you don't always have to share what is an in culture understanding with everyone else. People they're talking about this app, the Chinese app. And I said to myself, the reason why people have a skewed view of what's happening in China, partly, of course, because of our government's propaganda, but the other part of that is China keeps their culture closed for the most part, unless you're over there. They keep their culture really close to heart. And so the people who felt it was necessary to start detailing why Katanji was wearing the cowrie necklace, um, and the significance of it, sometimes I just want to tell people, can you be quiet? Because everything, they don't need to know everything. That's our problem right now. And as I was getting ready for this broadcast, I heard the Spirit say to me, He said, sometimes the problem is you're trying to teach people culture who want to steal it. You're trying to explain culture to people who want to destroy it. You're trying to um, you're trying to be in teaching mode with people who want to denigrate your culture. And so everything doesn't need to be detailed outwardly. I'm not saying you don't know what the symbolism is. I'm saying sometimes you're teaching the wrong people. Sometimes you're giving people access to information that they will further use against you. So, I mean, don't be surprised if next thing you know, calorie shells are astronomically high because some people can't keep their mouth closed. I'm just saying. The other comment I saw in my comment section yesterday, other conversation we were having, was about the 14th Amendment. Now, if you've been in my space any length of time, you know that we have at times sat down um, and read parts of the Constitution to you because we know a lot of people aren't reading for themselves. So we've read parts of the Constitution here. Um, and as far as the 14th Amendment, that birthright citizenship is also talking about Black Americans. It's talking about our protections. The 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment. If you go to the National Museum of African American History and Culture, they've got a whole section in the museum on nothing but the amendments and its importance to us as a people. So when people say we need to be concerned about someone issuing an executive order to end birthright citizenship, that is a part of the 14th Amendment. Now, a lot of people came and they said, he can't do this. But I want to ask you a question. When has he can't do this stopped this man from doing lawless stuff? When? When has it is illegal stopped him from doing the illegal? Just like all of those asylum issues they had when he was in office, people knew that what he was doing was wrong. People knew that he was violating the Constitution with asylum seekers, but he still did it. And guess what? It went on until someone else got in office and had to start rescinding the stuff he was doing. But guess what? By that time, the damage had been done, right? Children had been intimately assaulted in some of those places. People were being starved. A child died that we know of. Probably more died than what was being shown on television. Children were separated from their parents. Some of those parents never got their children returned. Some of those children were shuffled off to quote unquote Christian adoption homes for parents to not see their kids again. Was what he did right? Was it legal? No, but he got away with it. And so yes, people very much have a reason to be concerned with this executive order because even though we know it's not legal, enough damage can be done while people are fighting for it to be recognized as something that is not legal to do. Okay. And again, I had white people in my comment sections talking about if he deport me, where am I going to go? Ma'am, sir, they are not putting these things as executive orders to deport Europeans. Again, why are you in my comment section? You should know this. If you've seen anything, if you've been paying attention to anything, you should know the people they're trying to deport are not Europeans. Think Haitians, Africans. Yeah. So, yes, is the 14th Amendment, is the executive order ending birthright citizenship a problem? Yes. But it's not only a problem in that case, it is also a problem because we do still have a lot of people who are the enforcers of law that still consider Black people as not fully citizens. They consider us 14th Amendment citizens. That was a phrase that was being thrown around on yesterday. Some people still feel like we are second class citizens. And this executive order boosts the people that feel that way. So keep your eye on that. Keep your eye on that. And the reality is, someone said, well, it's unconstitutional and, it will be fought. Okay, it will be fought. But here's the problem: you have a Congress that is compromised and corrupt, and you have a Supreme Court that is compromised and corrupt. How do we know this? Because they've already overturned Roe v. Wade, because they've already gutted the Civil Rights Voting Act. So you think those people are going to rule justly when it comes to the 14th Amendment? Just get ready for a ride, okay? Get ready for a ride. The other thing I want to encourage you to do is to organize offline. If you go down my timeline, you'll see plenty of places where I said you can reach me. You will see there's also a link where if you want to keep in touch beyond social media, because as we see, social media is becoming more and more fickle. Its owners are oligarchs. Its owners are backing a neo-fascist regime. I don't know if we can call it a presidency yet. Right now, it just looks like a neo-fascist regime. So Organize offline. Organize offline. Organize offline. One more time. Organize offline. If you haven't noticed it yet, there are people coming into your spaces asking you specific questions. Why? Organize offline. You need to ask questions about who are these new people showing up in your spaces that you've never seen before. I'm going to say it one more time. Organize offline. Organize offline. Stop telling all your business online. Organize locally and organize offline. Hello, good morning. I'm about done. The last thing I want to say is be about the work. Be about the work. There is so much work to do right around us. There's local work to do. There's work in your community to do. There's work to do at schools if you have the ability to volunteer. Um, there's work to do when it comes to the unhoused. There's work to do when it comes to people who are in need of food. These are things that I'm working on and doing offline. I don't need a photo op to help my community. I don't need a photo op for that. I just don't. So I don't post a lot of the stuff that I do because I feel like you should be doing it because your community needs the help. And again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel for a lot of things. Find out what's already happening in your community. Find out the food banks that need your help. Find out the unhoused services that need your help. It's going to be a lot of people that are going to need some help soon in regards to food, in regards to shelter, in regards to medical care and services. Come on. And again, if you are not black, I'm encouraging you to be about the work. Find organizations that are supporting black life and be about the work. I saw way too many non-black people in my comment section yesterday, and I kept asking them, "Are you where is the work that you're getting to? Where's the work?" Correct, Sonia. We need to move in silence. And I gave one example earlier about people who are coming out here and you want to teach the world about why Katanji had on her cowrie shells. That's just a minute example. Next thing you know, they'll be banning cowrie shells to the United States. Why? Because some people can't keep their mouth closed. Exactly. Do not come to me talking about how you're on my side. Get in the way of folks going against what I am doing. Get in the way. The best way you can help black people right now is to get in the way. Become a subverter of people who are coming against black life. I shouldn't have to explain this to y'all. One more time. Is John Brown energy or bust? And if you don't know what that means, go look up John Brown and go study his life and go study how John Brown moved. That's what black people need from people right now. We need John Brown energy. That's what we need. So subversion, get in the way. You see something, say something. You see black people's jobs about to be cut off and you're in a leadership executive CEO position, say something. Don't just sit up there and say, "Oh, there's nothing we can do." Yes, there is. Get in the way. Don't have me start preaching up here. Get in the way. Get in the way. All right. That's what I wanted to share today. Get in the way. Get in the way. Be about the work. Organize offline. Stop telling all your business online. Stop telling your meeting times online. All that good stuff. Okay. I'm going to continue to share. Obviously, I'm going to share articles, that kind of thing. But that's what I'm saying, Gabriel. They're already talking about what Katanji was wearing and the significance of it and its cultural meaning. We understood that. Nobody, other people didn't need to know that. Why did they need to know that? Sonia says, I'm not worried about the reps and dems. I'm helping those that look like me and move like me. Again, local work is going to be important. Local work is going to be important. Check out the organizations locally. I'm talking about organizations that they have been around doing the work. You're going to find them if you look for them. You're going to find them if you are looking for them. But if you're not looking for them, yeah, you're going to get online and complain and say, I don't know where I can go. I don't know what to do. No. Use the same phone that you're looking at me at. Use the Google portion and go look up anti-racist organizations in my area. Type in your zip code. I guarantee you're going to find some. Food banks in my area. Type in the zip code. You're going to find some. Shelters in my area. Type in the zip code. You're going to find some. So look around you and begin to be about the work. If you have not thought about it at this point in your journey, this is the time to think about it. Be about the work. All right. I do not have time to have the talk back today, but I am going to have it on tomorrow. We'll be on Instagram and we'll be also on YouTube. So please feel free to join me there. We are going to continue this conversation into Wednesday because I have a lot more that I want to share. But I want to encourage you. Um, what I do know is this. I do know that justice, it may seem like it's taking a long time to get here, right? But a part of what moves justice forward is people like you and I. A part of what moves justice forward is us doing the work so that justice can be done right in our very own communities. Um, we realize no one is coming to save us. Or if you didn't realize it, hope you realize it now. No one's coming to save us because the power is on the inside of us. The power to affect change is on the inside of us. So, again, thank you for your time and your attention. This has been another episode of Daring Dialogues. I've been your host today, Shantae Charles. I hope I have said something that was helpful. Um, Tomorrow we will be in this book. It's called Free All Along, and it's the civil rights interviews. Free All Along. We'll be talking about what some of the leaders of the civil rights movement had to say. All right. Thank you again. Take care. Remember, light is the most daring opposition to darkness. So continue to go out and be light in your community. Goodbye.